I'm Anitra Terrell, owner of Reflektion Design, Afro modern home decor. And I'm passionate about telling the stories of how we express joy at home using the art and textiles of our roots. So join me as I take a closer look at the lives and homes of men and women across the African diaspora. This is how we live. Hi, I'm Anitra Terrell with ReflectionDesign.com, and this is How We Live, the show that celebrates the lives and homes of people across the African diaspora. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Riche Holmes Grant, a Maryland-based TV host and content creator. In this episode, you'll learn how to decorate your home for Christmas and Kwanzaa, as well as how to add a more meaningful touch to your Christmas tree. Plus, you'll get some decorating tips you can incorporate today. So, let's get into it.
Hi, Richie. Welcome to How We Live. How are you doing?
Hi, Anitra. I'm doing well. So glad to finally connect with you here. I'm so excited.
I have been a fan, and we have been sister friends on Instagram for it feels like years now. And so to watch your growth and evolution and all the work you're doing has been such an inspiration. So I'm just beyond excited to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. So actually, I want to take you back to, oh my gosh, 2019. We actually met in real life. That's how we connected in real life before Instagram. I was in LA that summer and I bought one of your bags. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I think
right.
that was in Leimert Park. And I got so many compliments that summer from everybody, white, Black, Asian, everybody loved that bag. So, so that was my introduction to you and Reflektion Design.
That's right. You know what? Since moving to Atlanta, it seems like I call it the LA years. It seems like it was a wonderful time. It seems like so long ago because so much has happened between 2019 and now that it seems like it's a long time ago, but it really wasn't. So thank you for that trip down memory lane. Shout out to Leimert Park. And yes, we have met in person. So wonderful. But today we're talking about one of your many areas of expertise, the holiday season, and specifically holiday decorating. But first, tell everyone about yourself and your home.
Well, I am a Jane of many trades. Lately, though, meaning over the past few years, I have been a TV host. I hosted a TV makeover show virtually. So that was very interesting, very stressful, but a lot of fun. I started though my design career as a blogger, just blogging about my everyday things in my life. Before all of that, I've always been an entrepreneur. And then on paper, I'm also a lawyer. So lots of things that I have going on. And my home is in Prince George's County, Maryland. It's a suburb of DC. I was raised here and came back after law school. I've been here ever since. And my home, we lovingly refer to as Grant Central for our last name, Grant.
And how would you describe your decorating style in 3 words, and who or what influenced that style?
Oh gosh, that's always a hard one. I think the first word I would use is curated. I grew up in a home, and I guess this answers both questions. I'll do that for you. I'll do a 2-in-1. I grew up watching my mom meticulously pick out every single piece in our home. And I never understood it growing up. I was like, why don't we just have a finished house? Everybody else has a finished house. You go in and they have everything. What I didn't know was that some people just went to, the Bob's Furniture down the street and bought a whole living room set, and it looked finished to me. But my mom was an expert curator. And so, and that's really one of the things that I have done in my own design style. I've curated pieces over the years. I always say to my viewers and readers to only buy things you absolutely love, because you can use them in so many different ways and you never get tired of them. So that's what I've been doing here at Grant Central. We moved here in 2016. And so I'm still curating. I don't know if my house will ever be finished, but I think that's the fun of it. So curated, I like a lot of different looks, and that's reflected in my home. So I think the next word I would probably use is reflective. My aesthetic is very reflective of who we are, who we like, what we like, who we are. So it gives nods to, I love my African decor, but I also love other styles. I love mid-century modern. I like a little bit of cottage. The room I'm looking at is my living room, and I've got a white sofa in there. It's very like New Englandy. And I also like a little bit of modern farmhouse going on in our kitchen. So, but essentially it's reflective of who we are. I don't really believe in subscribing to one particular style if that's not who you are. If it's the trend, I don't do that. So reflective would be my second one. And then I would say stylishly practical. So I like things that look good, but I have an 11-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old golden retriever. And so I have to be practical with the things that we put in the house, but I want them to look nice too, so that mama's happy, right? Right. Mama's not happy, the whole house isn't happy, right? So that's what I do. And it's a balance. Since we got our dog, I've had to kind of pull my coffee table books off out of the living room, because one of my very favorite ones was chewed up very early on when she got here. So I've had to make compromises. I know. But I did replace it. So that was good.
Now, when it comes to decorating for the holiday season, how do you approach it while keeping your design aesthetic in mind? Because sometimes for the holidays, people think I have to go with the, 18-foot Santa Claus on my front lawn. I have to do all the things when that's not even really your style. So how do you blend the two? How do you approach decorating for the holidays while keeping your design aesthetic in mind?
That's a really good question. So I, rather than completely redo a room for Christmas, and we also celebrate Kwanzaa, so I'll talk a little bit about both. I look for pieces that really add to the existing look that I've got going on, that really complement the look, because then it feels more organic, right? Versus stuffing a whole bunch of red and green in a room. That the room I'm looking at right now is, I've got the white sofa, I've got the blues and things like that. So that stuffing all that traditional Christmas stuff in there really wouldn't work. But I do want you to walk in my home. I want to walk in my home and feel like it's Christmas. So I look for pieces that go with what I already have. And I do a lot of DIYing. I do. I love that for Christmas. So I make a lot of my own pieces, and that's always fun for me. And my daughter has grown up doing that too. So if there's a piece I want, I really like cone trees. So that's something I've done. It's very easy DIY. I actually have a video on how to do them, so I'll make sure you get the link. But that's a very easy way to kind of add a little Christmas to your room, but still stay within your existing aesthetic. I said I'm a traditionalist when it comes to Christmas, because I grew up with lots of heirlooms on our Christmas tree, things that were passed down, also things that I still have, ornaments that I made when I was 9 years old, and they have special places on our tree. And so that's really what I do when it comes to decorating our main tree. This whimsical tree is a little bit different, but that's important to me. I don't ever overstyle our family tree, because it's our family tree, right? Like, it's reflective of who we are,
literally and figuratively.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I do. I know that in the design world, people are very big on decorating your tree a certain way. It has to look like this, but for me, it's really important that it looks like us.
Now, you're also the queen of tablescapes. I'm giving you the crown. Tell us about this year's tablescape theme. How did you approach it? And how do you come up with, or is it different every year, or do you kind of keep some of the same pieces? Walk us through that.
So, it's interesting. In a perfect world, it would be the same every year, but that's just not me. Like, I just can't do that. But I also am getting to the point where I might need a storage unit to keep all my stuff. So the past few years, I have kind of held back. In the kitchen, which is where you'll see a lot of my tablescapes, this year that's dedicated to the gingerbread house party. So it's very whimsical. It's lots of red and white pieces that I actually already had. And I'm really big on that. Buy pieces you love so that you can use them again and again. Mm-hmm. So the thing I always say in my house is, okay, it's time to go shopping. And I start here first. I have a whole storage room downstairs. We call it the annex, and it's separated by seasons. And so I go in there and pick out some pieces, and then I will complement or add to what I need depending on what I'm going for that year. So Christmas in the kitchen is very whimsical. In the dining room, which is where I am now, it's got kind of sort of a hybrid Kwanzaa Christmas look. So I've got the red, actually the napkins on the table are from your collection. Those are some of my favorite napkins with the gold cowrie shells.
Oh, that's right. The shells. See how far we go back?
I know we go way back, girl.
Way back.
Yeah. I've got a shipment on the way from you, actually. So I'm always looking forward to your emails to see what you got.
I remember that. Fabrics. I saw that come in. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is sort of a hybrid look because I just wanted to kind of play around with, okay, I really don't want to do a whole other look in here. So what I'll do for Kwanzaa is I'll just add the kinara, which I do have behind me. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll add that. But right now I've just got some gorgeous pieces on the table that really could work for either holiday. And then when I take those pieces off, the tablescape looks great as it is. This one, actually, I have to tell you the story behind this. This was a Kwanzaa look that I created for Home Depot. And all of the pieces were from the Home Depot collection, which was astonishing to me because, some of the pieces were handcrafted by African artisans. And I was like, who knew that Home Depot had all this stuff? It's all online. Right. And so I love the look. And I was like, I'm going to make this a year-round look. I just switch around a few pieces. There is a table runner that I handmade. Actually, I switched that out for today, but that's usually on the table. And then I'll just maybe add a few pieces. But this is a great kind of evergreen look because it goes well with the table. The table itself is copper. And that's one of the tips that I think is really big for people who are into tablescaping or new at tablescaping. Consider what you start with, right? So some looks that I have in here in my dining room would not work for my kitchen, which is like a large farmhouse wooden table, right? So certain things I know will look really good in here, but won't look good in there. And so I just kind of design around what goes well with each room.
Now you mentioned you're mixing a little traditional and a little Kwanzaa for your tablescape. Are there particular color palettes that you think work really well for the holiday season as it relates to African decor? Because most people think African, they think red, black, and green, which is great.
Yeah.
But what are some other color palettes that you typically use to bring in a more Afrocentric look, but it's still holiday?
So I think that the only place you'll ever see me use, and hopefully I won't change this, but right now I'm saying the only place you'll ever see me use red, black, and green together will be with the kinara. It's great for that look, but for the table, it's really hard to bring those together in a way that works, that's not too themey, if you know what I mean. So I think that one of the ways that you can, like what I do is I pick a primary color from the three. So I love red for this time of year because again, it can go well for both holidays. And black accented by gold, red accented by gold. That's typically what I will do. I think Warmth is very important when it comes to a Kwanzaa look. So any of your warm browns and even like a nice burnt orange, you can have some accents like that. But I would stick with one of the primary colors. It could be green if you're into green. I typically will go with red as my look, or red and black, or red or black, and then some nice gold accents are I think are nice touches.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you love doing DIY projects. Can you give us a few examples of some projects that you've done, especially this time of year? Because projects are great for, like you were saying, with your kids, or if you have grandkids or nieces and nephews that may come over. What are some other DIY holiday projects that you've worked on in your home?
So I love making ornaments. Those are, again, things that you can pass down from generation to generation. Amazon is a great place. There are wooden ornaments that you can buy, and you can add wood paint to those, and the kids have a lot of fun with those. You can even use wood paint markers. That's actually easier for kids. If you want a more elevated look, what I will do is buy a bunch of the paper mache ornaments. So they come in different shapes. I like I call it the onion shape, because that's always like something you associate with Christmas, and you can decorate those with glitter. Mod Podge is a lot of fun. That is very versatile. I use that to kind of put a coating on my ornaments to give it a nice sheen, nice gloss. But there's so many different things you can do with those. When Riley, my daughter, was little, she would just paint the bulbs just in her solid colors, and she would watch me add some metallic colors, some glitter, even some fringe pieces of fabric. So there are lots of things you can do to make ornaments nice. For Kwanzaa, I have started painting my own Kwanzaa candles. That's a lot of fun. And with that, you can just use stencils. Sometimes it's a little hard, depending on the kinds of stencils you get, to kind of wrap them around the candle. But you can just use them for inspiration and kind of freehand your designs, which is what I typically do for mine. And that's always a nice touch too, because it elevates your Kwanzaa candles. It's a fun DIY, and you can do lots of things with the candles throughout the Christmas season as well. I mean, you could paint those too for your look. But I think the most important thing around the Christmas DIYs is that you just have fun with it. So mine are never perfect. I like a little imperfections, but I think it's the spirit that you're making them in that's really important.
Now, for those of us who want to incorporate some holiday decor, we don't necessarily have the DIY gene, the creativity gene, but we want to we want to incorporate holiday decor, and maybe we're even on a budget. What are some ideas that we can use to have a festive spirit on a budget, but it still look good?
Okay. So I don't believe that you have to decorate your entire house for Christmas. You can just pick a room that I have little pieces throughout my house, but you're never going to see my whole house completely Christmas makeover, because here's the thing. I don't like how it looks after Christmas when you have all this stuff and you take it down and it's like, what happened to everything? So I have to kind of temper my feelings. So little pieces you can pick up, but they're easy things to do. Like, for instance, throw pillows. Instead of buying new pillows, you can just buy new pillow covers. And that's a great way to add accent pieces to, let's say, your living room. And then when Christmas is over, you just fold them and put them away. It's not a piece that you have to find storage for. That's a big thing. I told you I'm running out of storage. So I like to consider pieces that don't require a lot of storage, that don't take up a lot of real estate. So little pieces like that. Your kitchen, that's a great place where you can add, your festive pot holders. And red is as an easy color to use. And that's something that you can use throughout the year as well, but it has particular significance during the holidays, because, red and green, Christmas. And so that's something easy that you can do. But I don't think at all that you have to spend a lot of money. Get your core pieces. I'm very big on wreaths. If you have, whether it's an apartment or, a house, a wreath is a great way to welcome the holiday spirit into your space. And then afterwards, you just, find some place to put it. Now, like I said, I love wreaths, so I have way too many. But it's an inexpensive way to say the holidays are here. And what else would I say? As far as tablescapes for the holidays, I do believe in repurposing as much as you can. So I would not go out and buy something new every year. If you do, then let it be something like napkins or napkin rings. Again, something that's not taking up a lot of real estate.
And you also have a YouTube channel where you share a lot more tips and ideas related to the home and interiors and design. Tell us about your YouTube channel and why you decided to create it.
Yeah. So, long story that I'll make short. I was afraid of the camera, like my whole life, actually. And so I never, ever thought about doing a YouTube channel until a few friends who didn't know each other came to my house for my daughter's birthday party. And they said, you should do videos. And I promise you, I'd never thought about it before. They went in my kitchen, and I have a studio downstairs. My daughter has now taken it over as her sewing room, but before it was my craft studio, and where I shot a lot of my videos as well after I started the channel. And so I learned very early on in my lifestyle influencer career, when 10 people who don't know each other tell you the same thing, you should listen. This wasn't 10 people, it was 3. But I said, I should think about that. And I never thought, I just designed my home the way I wanted it to be. I never thought that I would ever film here. But 6 weeks later, I was in front of the camera. My channel was called The Rich Life. It's a play on my name. And what I believe to be a rich life, not having to do with money, but the spirit that you evoke or invoke. And so I started the channel just based on a lot of the things that I was blogging about. I started my official blogging career with Martha Stewart. And so that was fun for me to sort of be in that space. And so it was an evolution to move from blogging to actually being in front of the camera. And then from there, things just kind of took off. I then had the makeover show that I was talking about with Real Simple magazine, and that was pretty cool. And I've done lots of video work with Better Homes and Gardens as well. So it just turned into my whole house actually turned into a studio. And so now actually for anyone who's visiting, I have not posted there in a while because I'm working on my first film. It's a documentary about the history of Black women. That's very important. Yes, Black women in culinary and lifestyle spaces. So essentially, the stories of people like B. Smith, who I'm sure you're very familiar with. So my producing partner and I, we started with that one question, well, who came before B. Smith? And so that's been our quest to find those women and to share their stories. If you think about it, the hidden figures of lifestyle and design and the culinary world, it's called Good Home Training. So that is my latest. Yeah. That's my latest and biggest project. So hopefully the next time we talk, I'll be sharing some clips with you.
Well, we will have all of Riche's information in the description below. So make sure you follow her, subscribe to her channel, follow her on other social platforms, so we can all know when this fabulous documentary is out, because I'm so there for it. This is fantastic. This is like right up my alley. So I'm like, yes.
It's really a labor of love. It's a passion project. It just feels like what I'm supposed to be doing right now. You ever had that feeling where it's like, you're supposed to be doing something? And I get so many signs, I feel like, from the women who I've researched that I'm on the right path. So I'm excited.
That's very exciting. And I feel like the past couple of years have birthed a season of storytelling amongst our community, whether it's us telling our stories about Black food and culinary experiences and the origins of food and Black cooking culture to housing, to interior design, to historical references, entrepreneurs. I think it's a really exciting time because there's now increased space for us to tell our own stories. And we now have the platforms to tell the stories ourselves instead of waiting for others to tell our stories. So go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, at Reflektion Design, our mantra is see yourself at home. Riche, how does your home reflect who you are?
So at the beginning of our talk, I said I'm a Jane of all trades. And so I think that's reflected in my home. It's a place that looks like all of the different facets of who I am, who we are as a family. My husband, believe it or not, is very much into the look and feel of the house, which is fun for me because I don't have to do everything by myself. But it feels like each of us separately, because we have our own spaces. He's got his man cave. I've got my spaces. My daughter's got her spaces. So it feels like each of us individually, but it also feels like our family collectively. And I love that so much that I can go in different spaces and see different parts of who I am. I love to cook. And so I spend a lot of time in my kitchen, and the kitchen is a reflection. I spent a lot of time designing that to be just the way I wanted it to be. And that it's a whole different Riche than you see downstairs in the craft studio where I'm making Christmas ornaments. So each space is special in its own way. And that's what I love so much about our home. You're never going to walk in a room and feel the same thing you felt when you were in another space.
I love that. Perfect segue. So let's get into our lightning round.
Oh, I'm always afraid of those.
No need. We won't put you, we won't take you anywhere, anywhere too crazy. I'm going to ask you a couple questions and you just give me the first answer that comes to mind.
Okay.
What's one decorating book that we all should have?
Design Remix by Corey Damon Jenkins is my favorite design book. I love his aesthetic so much. I love the way he mixes traditional and modern pieces together, looks together, because I want a timeless look, right? I think most people don't want to redo their homes every few years, right? And so I love the way he shows you how to do that, how to mix some of the old and the new and come up with a completely different look that's reflective of you, that you love. So that's my book recommendation.
Okay. Wallpaper or paint?
Ooh. Okay, I'll have to tell you a story behind this one. So in theory, I do love paint. I really do. I love it lately though for other people I'm styling for. Because when we first got married, our condo, I went crazy with paint, and it worked for that time. But afterwards, I was like, what did I do? We had like 10 different colors in like an 1,100 square foot 2-floor condo. It was way too much. So I do love paint. I do. I have a problem with commitment now with paint. So check in with me hopefully in the next couple of years and I'll have committed. Right now, I just add color to my neutral walls.
Okay. So your vote is wallpaper.
No, my vote is actually paint. I mean,
it's still paint. Okay.
It is still paint. Okay. It is still paint. Like I said, I love picking out paint for other people. It's just
okay.
I have a problem with commitment right now.
Okay. Candles or incense?
Candles. I absolutely love candles. I have actually a recommendation, Oasis Soul. I don't know if you've ever tried her candles. I love them. No, another Black woman entrepreneur whose stuff I buy as much as I buy your stuff. So check her out. She's great.
Okay. And What is your go-to holiday song?
Ooh, This Christmas, Donny Hathaway. That's my all-time favorite. Although last year, I think the one I played the most was Someday at Christmas, Andrew Day and Stevie Wonder. I love that version. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Donnie's just, as soon as you hear that song, you're like, okay, it's time to get festive.
Right.
It's time to get festive.
Such a classic. Yeah.
What's your go-to holiday drink?
Oh, I've been loving mulled wine lately. So think of like a warm sangria. It just goes down really nicely. It's nice and warm and toasty. But I do love eggnog too. I do nog now. Well, I'm with almond milk. I can't do the dairy anymore. But I would say the mulled wine is my current favorite.
How about your favorite Christmas movie?
The Preacher's Wife.
Oh, classic. Okay. Yeah, it is a classic.
Classic. Although my daughter complains that for the past few years, I've been making her watch Jingle Jangle too much. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix. I love such a fun. It's just such a fun
movie.
And we didn't have movies like that growing up with us, right? So it's just like one of those movies I can never get enough of. But I would say my favorite is The Preacher's Wife.
Yeah, that's a classic. I may have to add that to the rotation.
Yes.
This year. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Well, that's good. That's great. When you haven't seen it in a long time. Yes.
Richie, where can we find you online?
You can find me most on Instagram, although lately I've been just kind of taking a little bit of a break, but I post major updates. That's all things Riche, Riche. Also my website, richehomesgrant.com. YouTube is The Rich Life. Again, it's always Riche. And where else can you find me? Those are my major hangout spots. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn too, but I feel like most people are, Instagram's good. Facebook too, Riche Holmes Grant.
All right. Thank you so much, Richie. It's been, as always, great to catch up with you. You shared so many wonderful tips that we can all use this holiday season, but even beyond that. So thank you.
You are quite welcome. Thank you for having me. And I hope you have a great holiday season.
And thank you everyone for watching. This is how we live.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And to add more style and culture to your home, shop reflectiondesign.com.